Hey guys, it's me Ashlyn. Today we're going to be trying something out. We're going to be trying r/Entitled Parents, and if you guys like it, I'll do more. So the first story is called Entitled Parent Wants Me to Stop Dealing with a Medical Issue. First post. Here we go. A bit of context. I'm terrible at titles. I have type 1 diabetes, and I manage it using a pretty neat device called an Omnipod. It's a small pod that you can fill with insulin before sticking it to your arm for 3 days. It's all controlled through a remote, but the pod only lasts 3 days. It's typically fine as I change the pod itself during the evening so it doesn't mess with my day at college. However, the pod fails. If the pod fails, it emits a long, loud beep that will continue to sound until the pod is deactivated and replaced. I also want to mention that I travel to college on a train, and I normally grab a seat with a table so I can do my work or just stretch my legs a little. The train is pretty early morning, so not many people are on the train. So it's day 2 of my day 3 pod, and I'm sat at a table with my laptop out, reading a short story. This kid, Kay, and their parent, EP, sat at the table across from me. And having been fine for the duration of the travel, this kid is about 6 or 7, so bear with. That is until my pod fails, giving off the ear-piercing scream I've come to hate. Standard procedure is to whip out the remote, stop the pod, and start a new one. Filling a pod is a little complex. First, you take a syringe with a small needle and draw from a small vial of insulin. Then insert the needle into the pod and fill. From the outside looking in, it's a bit weird, but honestly, it's the best they could do. Anyway, Kay noticed this and begins to look a bit fidgety. The parent looks at me, and I get the feeling something is not right. EP. What are you doing? Me. I'm type 1. I'm just filling an insulin pump. It's kind of urgent. It won't take long. EP. Can't you do that someplace else? Me. Not really. The toilets are rather dirty and I don't have a lot of room to do this. It needs to be done now. EP. Well, it's upsetting my kid. She's been beginning to raise her voice a little. Me. I'm very sorry about that, but I need to do this. I depend on it. I hear nothing more, so I assume everything is alright. Until I start priming the pod. Priming is when the pod bleeds out any air from the insulin tank, as you don't want any bubbles pushing into your arm, and for some reason it always makes this loud snap as it does it. No idea why. The sound startles the kid a little, who's still watching, mind you. Kay. Mommy, what is that? EP. Well, what was that? Me. No clue. After priming that, the fun begins. The pirate has to fire a needle into my arm. It's quick, but it hurts like heck. Sometimes. And I even jump and swear at it, despite having it for about 5 years. Me. Sorry, this might startle him a bit. I still have no idea why I'm being so polite. I fire the pod's needle and jump quick at the pain. I didn't swear, but it was painful, so I sit and rub my arm a little. The kid did not like that. He gets very distressed, asking his mother what happened, what that thing on my arm was. Why did you startle him like that? The poor thing is scared half to death. He's very sensitive to these things. Me. I'm very sorry about that, miss, but I need to do this. I'm an insulin dependent, and this pod is what keeps me alive. EP. Is everyone from your generation a druggie then? Honestly, I would have thought that going to school would hit these kids right out of your... hit these things out of you, but apparently not. Me. Miss. I do not do drugs. I have a pretty serious condition that I'm trying to deal with. I'm getting pretty annoyed now, but I wasn't in the mood to raise my voice, especially with the kid around. I can get really loud and really angry very quickly. EP, if it's so serious, then why are you on a public train? I don't want Kay to catch your disgusting germs. Me, diabetes is not contagious. This seems to shut her up for all of 2 seconds before she continues. Well, you shouldn't be doing something like that in a public place. And why not? I was getting a little more agitated. Because it may upset people. I had it. Wait. I had it. Wait. Sorry, guys. I had it. Me. Very, very sorry about your insecurities and baseless procedure against people who are different, but not all of us are perfect individuals with not a flaw at all, and feel the need to call people out for helping themselves live just to please the spoiled brat and shelter them from the harsh reality that not everyone is healthy. EB stares at me. I hope to God you never take that kid outside. He might collapse from all the people who are different. Imagine his face when he sees people with missing limbs. It'd shatter his worldview. Bear in mind, I have a younger cousin. Whenever she gets sarcastic, she puts on this overly posh, overly dramatic voice and starts acting like Freddie Mercury. Think rarity, but sarcasm. EP does not back down. How dare you talk to me like that, you little meanie? It's not my fault you were born a defective drug user, and now you're having to justify it. Noting we had reached the final stop, I grabbed my things and turned back to the EP. I'm very sorry to hear about your insecurities, but I must be off to college. I have a swell, hate-filled day. With that, I left a sour mood and definitely a lot more deflated than I was before the incident. Honestly, I feel sorry for that kid for having a mother like that. But hey, at least I got to vent some steam. Also, I never saw EP again. Turns out the train guards, one of whom was my father, had heard about this issue and had a quiet word with her about manners. Nothing serious, but it was just quiet word warning that if she ever did something like that again, she'd be kicked off at the next stop. This was one of the first encounters I've had with an entitled parent, but at least she didn't try to take the pot away for me so her child could play with it. XD. You're annoying. Entitled parent dismisses disabled gamer due to stutter. Hi, I'm just gonna drop this here since I think it fits as behavior seems to match EP standards. Cast, me, or A. EM, entitled mother. EB, entitled boy/brat. T, friend or /cashier. Okay, so this was around May 2018, and I have gotten bored of Destiny 2's excessive grind since my southern option got me kicked from fire teams, parties, and I was tired of playing solo. So I decided I was going to try something a bit different. I headed out to Game to buy something else. This becomes relevant later. After buying a sandwich and then heading to Game, I started to browse the PS4 section. After pulling out Blaze Blue, Chrono Festival, whatever it is, and Fallout 4, I headed to the checkout with what I had, what I wanted. Enter EM and EB. They were behind me in line, but there were two cashiers working the tiles in the back. I stepped off after a tall guy is done trading in his Xbox One games and to go great tea. As he knew me for a while, no, I was very regular, so I got quite friendly with some of the workers. They were super nice and patient. Hey, come for new game again? I thought you were still on D2. Yeah, I got bored of solo play. Always being kicked. I struggle on A and S's and R's with my stutter. Show me what you're getting. Me showing him Blaze Blue and Fallout 4. Then I struggled through asking him if these games come with DLC. Ian behind me gets angry and says, like, spit it out, hurry up, and other things like that. I became visibly uncomfortable. T then tells Ian that there's another till open, but Ian ignores it. Then another person goes to the other till, taking her place since she wasn't moving. She got angrier. He's taking too long. I know, sweetie, he's annoying me too. I pulled up the hood of my hoodie to avoid further eye contact. Don't worry, I understand. I'll get the seasonal passes for your game on a discount. I smile a bit, and I give him a thumbs up and a mouth him thanks. T is grinning. Why does this guy get a discount just because... Why does this guy get a discount just because he's a weirdo? He gets a discount? I flinched slightly, fighting my urge to punch her. My fists were clean, and T noticed. T quickly ran my stuff through and loaded my stuff into my backpack. He apologizes quickly, and I nod. I tell him it's not his fault. OC, other cashier, noticed the outburst, and when EM came up to buy her son Minecraft Story Mode in Black Ops 3, she's given a disapproving glances by the workers. After her stuff was paid for, she was let out and told she wasn't allowed back here. T helped me to keep calm as I was bullied my whole life over my stutter. I didn't think someone could be that rude. Okay, so this one's short, so I might be doing a fourth one on this one. So this one's called Entitled Parent Tries to Kick Me Out of My Hotel Room. Sorry, the format is off. I'm on mobile. This gem of a story happened about a year ago. I was visiting my cousins in Virginia, and I had booked a hotel to stay in before I went to visit them. I drive to the hotel and check in. Some lady with a child who looked to be maybe 10 or 11 just comes running in, barges right past a bunch of people waiting in line to check in, and asks if the hotel has a room open. The kid just looks embarrassed. The lady at the desk says that there are no more rooms available, so the mom turns towards me and starts to harass me about giving her my room. Here's how it went. EP, entitled parent. Hey you! Me. EP. Yes, you? You were checking into your room. Yeah, why? Aha, but that's where you're lying. Weren't you just checking out and leaving? Give me your room. No, I can't check in. No, I just checked in. Lady at the desk. Yes, ma'am, she just checked in. EP. I need a place to stay. I have a child. I deserve this room more than this girl. So, give me the room. I booked in advance and paid for it myself, so it's my room. EP. No, but I have a child. Wait. No, but I have a child, and I have a higher priority than her. So give me that darn room. Lady at the desk. Ma'am, she paid for it. It's her room. No, please go somewhere else before I call security. Oh my gosh, I deserve this room. It's going to be mine. So give me the key card. No, lady at the desk. No. laid at the desk, called security. She didn't get the room. Her kid was super embarrassed. She got dragged out by security. I got the room at the end. Okay, guys, so this one's a long one, so we'll put the part 2 in next video. This one's called Entitled Parent Forces Me to Come Up to My Parents. A bit of backstory before we begin. Yes, I'm bi. No, my parents didn't know beforehand, although I did leave clues hoping they'd just ask me. So I didn't have to make a big deal out of it. Anyway, on to our cast. EP, Entitled Parent. Me, Monkey Eggnog. EA, Entitled Meanie. T, Head Teacher / Principal. Same positions, different names for regions. Dad, absolute legend who I'm proud to call my dad. So anyway, EA was always a meanie. Even from the first day he joined the school, often resorting to statements like, "You're being homophobic," or "This is because I'm gay." He's gay, by the way. Whenever things didn't go his way or he'd get detentions, EA would often use the fact that he was gay as a way to try and scapegoat any and all punishments. By the way, I support the LGBTQ community, so no being mean and stuff. So, any punishment. It didn't always work, but when it did, you can imagine how ticked off I was about it. So one day, I'm sitting there in class, doing the work and talking to F1, when out of nowhere, I start getting pelted with popcorn. Turning around, I see EA sitting there, feet up on the desk, with a handful of popcorn, with the smuggest look on his face ever, as he then proceeds to stand up on the table and yell, "EA, everyone, I'm having a party tonight, and none of you homophobics are invited." Me being the guy I am, immediately reply with, "So why should we care?" EA, obviously, because I've invited all the popular kids. If you don't show up to this party, your reputation is ruined. At this point, the teacher got annoyed with him still standing on the desk and told EA to leave the classroom. EA used the same stupid phrases, which just annoyed the teacher even more. EA then walks up to me and get right in my face yelling, "EA, you're a homophobic piece of poop. And when we finish school, I'm going to make sure my boyfriend is there ready to beat you up." Me, "Cool to see you then, EA. I don't think you understand how this is supposed to go. You're supposed to apologize and beg for forgiveness." Me, "Why would I? Just earlier today you were complaining about how you didn't have a boyfriend and now you've suddenly got one strong enough to beat me up." At this point, EA just swiped at me with his nails actually cutting into my cheek out of reflex. I'd go for a left hook and hit him right in the face. I get sent out and told to go to the nurse since he'd actually cut deep enough for it to start bleeding. Not a lot happened later that day when I saw F2, who said that EA had called his parents and was going to file a restraining order. I laughed it off as a joke until I saw the dead serious look on F2's face as if on cue, as I was called to T's office inside the room where EA and EP and my dad, Mom was still at work. EA and EP were sent outside while I stood there and explained the whole situation, explaining how I'd had food thrown at me being insulted and assaulted too. T, who just looked at me with a look of, yeah, I know before. T, we both just know the type of character. EA is, however, that does not justify your actions. You are going to go home and spend all tomorrow in isolation, basically all day in detention. I smiled, took the punishment, and walked out, where EP just glared at me. EP, what did you get? Me, isolations for a day. EP, what? But you attacked my child and he got a week. Me, maybe if you'd actually raised him to be a respectful person, none of this would have happened. EP, so now this is my fault? Dad, no, that's not what he's saying. Alright, son. Me. Alright, son. Me, nope, that's exactly what I meant. And to be honest, if I had come to the chance, I'd punch him again. 3 years of his stuff, and it had kind of pushed me over the edge. EP walks up to me, pinning me against the wall. EP, now you listen here, you homophobic. Apparently she used that as an assault too. My son is the perfect example of a student. So give me one good reason why I shouldn't end you. Homophobe. At this point, my dad had gone back in to get me, cause I'm EP, go on. Me, bisexual, and I know exactly the kind of your perfect student is. He's a massive butt who bullies everyone and uses his being gay like some sort of scapegoat to everything. So you can't be homophobic if you're gay, right? I want to ask my ex-boyfriend, EP, then let me go, because standing right behind them was T, and they were mad. T, do you want to explain why you're assaulting one of my students? Sorry, I didn't actually stop in the middle. You're just going to have to watch this whole thing. EP, I wasn't. Besides, you've got no proof I did anything. Naturally, T pointed to the security camera and showed everyone the footage, including my dad, who then heard my confession. Naturally, confession came out of from my dad's, as if I'd been leading some sort of double life, and EP just stormed out with EA in tow. We didn't really care since the school had electric gates, meaning without a key, you were called to T's office to verify what I'd said was true. And luckily, F3 was my ex-BF. So he confirmed almost straight away that I was bi, and everyone confirmed all the claims that had happened, which was EP later was arrested for an aggravated assault of a minor, and he got 6 months in prison. EA also got expelled because the school had apparently been building a file on him to get him expelled, since most of the school doesn't seem to care, and expelled. Since most of my school doesn't seem to care, even a few months before finals exams, act like children, throw pens and bags across the room. Having a just reason for explosion is really needed in my school. Since then, I've been happy with my girlfriend and friends, and now I am preparing for my final exams. Should I have done what I did? No, I'm glad. Absolutely. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!